So I was brought up in quite a modest family with my parents traveled a lot across the different cities and different towns. So my childhood was very I had to go around with to get new friends, learn to join new schools. So I had to also lose a lot of friends and gain a lot of friends. But all in all, I would say it was a happy childhood. I didn't lack anything. Food was always provided on the table. But also, I'll say it wasn't that I also had a very luxurious childhood. That is definitely also not the case. But I would say it was just a normal childhood. And with that, I think, yeah, that's the background. I also finished my undergraduate from Maiyo University. So shout out to everyone who's from Maiyo or from Eldoret. Yeah, that's where I did my undergraduate. I also done a postgraduate degree and an MBA from University of Pretoria in South Africa. Yeah, and now I'm in Kenya. I'm also trying to pursue another MBA at USIU. So also shout out to everyone from USIU. Yeah, I'm looking forward to us interacting together and also hearing a lot from you. So maybe the first question, let's try and demystify the first point, is when actually Michael and the team were asking me about, maybe sharing a few thoughts here, the first question that came to mind was, are universities producing unemployable people? That's why we have to actually have a discussion today about identifying these opportunities. Do you think the university is producing people who are unemployable? That when you go out there in the market, there are many people who don't have jobs today. Is it the case? What do you think? Maybe you can drop a chat. You can try and give your response on the chat, share your ideas. So are universities producing unemployable people? That's the question. For me, the answer is an absolute no. An absolute no. Universities are producing employable people. You are employable. You have a chance to be employed. Many people are doctors, many people are, lawyers, we have architects, we have, software developers, marketers. Many people have got jobs and from the universities that we have studied. But also, I would also say that many people have not got the jobs. So maybe we would say that it's a very competitive market. It's a competitive environment that the jobs are limited. So you are employable, but also we need to make sure that you position yourself in a way that you can be employable, okay? I know many discussions also have been going on around you starting your own business. That is also a discussion we can have. So you can start your own business, you can be an entrepreneur, you can be employable, you can get a job, but it's very competitive, and that's the truth of the matter. So we have to make sure we position ourselves in a way that we can easily, be at the right place at the right time and get the right opportunity that comes. And when the opportunity comes, it's easy for you to strike it. So yeah, you can be employed, but I would also want to know if, from your point of view, do you think universities are producing unemployable people? I'd love to have that discussion. Okay, so now that we have mentioned that, yes, you can be employed, you are employable, how do we position ourselves? And that's now to the second question. How do you position yourself in your university while in school to be employable or to, get a competitive advantage as compared to the rest? And let me give you a personal experience. When I was graduating from university, I did an undergraduate in statistics. My fellow friends, colleagues was studying BCom. And in Maiyo University at that time, we had 1,500 students graduating from business administration. Yeah. Now let's imagine a situation where 1,500 of you are graduating, you've been given a certificate, and we're all now deployed into the job market. At this job market, we all have the same units. We most likely have the same grades that we have got. But now we're all looking for the job. If 10 of us end up being at a waiting lobby, waiting to join the interview, how do you distinguish yourself? Because all of you have studied the same thing. All of you have done BCom or you've done business administration. And thanks, I've seen the many universities that you're from. Shout out to all of you. But how do you distinguish yourself? That is where the tough question is, because how does an employer How does an employer distinguish that, let me choose you over your other friend? So one thing that we need to really do while we're in university, and as we identify the opportunities, we need to prepare ourselves in a way. So the first thing is we need to develop additional skills. What do I mean by this? And let me give you an example. If you're studying maybe computer science, or you're studying marketing, if your major is marketing, you should be able to market. If you studied finance, you should be able to actually balance a balance sheet. Those skills are really necessary. We have to make sure that we link whatever we learn in class from the academics to the actual real world. So you did a degree, you majored in marketing, for example. If you majored in marketing, you should be able to come up with marketing concepts. If I give you a phone, or I have my coffee here, I give you this cup, can you market it? And can you try and get 1 or 2 people to buy? These are the skills that you definitely need to have for you to distinguish yourself from the rest. Now imagine the 1,500 of you who are there. You should be able to be in a position where you can show that you have additional skills. You are a software developer. Have you actually tried to build a small, app? Have you developed a small website? You need to have those skills. And those skills is what are some of the things that will distinguish you from the rest. The second point is you need to try and participate in extracurricular activities in the university. I'll delve deeper into this when we're talking about, more details about how to identify these opportunities. But the extracurricular activities in the universities are really critical, and you need to really try and get involved. Let me come back to that one, just pause it there. So 1, develop additional skills. 2, participate in extracurricular activities. 3, this is a very important one, is the linkage between academia and the professional world. Now, as a potential employer, I could be an employer. You could maybe sit on the other side, and I am an interviewer. One question I always ask my interviewees is, okay, I am in a power tools business, so maybe it's a sales environment. Let's talk about it like that. It's a sales environment, so it's really a sales job or a marketing job that I could be potentially interviewing for. So I will ask you, if I give you 100,000 shillings, what would you do different in my business? What would you do different in my area of work that would give value? Now, you have studied marketing in your school. You have studied sales. You have done this and that, I want you to actually come to the interview knowing or having researched about my organization, having researched about what we do, and also coming up with ideas on how best we could improve ourselves. So, because that for me, you will bring value to me when you're joining the organization, and that's a plus for you, because I would feel, yes, you are a potential good employee, because you will bring value to me. So I'll ask you, if I give you 100,000 shillings, how would we market our product to get well in the market? What would you do? Please come up with those ideas. Now, those ideas will come through your interest. It will come through you having a curious mindset. You're an economist, for example. You're studying economy. Can you articulate about inflation? Can you discuss about it? Can you think about why the exchange rate has been fluctuating over the years? Are you able to comment on that? You need to have a curious mindset and try and link whatever you're studying in class to what is actually happening on the ground, what is actually happening in the work, in the business environment. To me, that's a very, very important cue. So the thing here is to have a curious mindset. What you need to do is Google is your friend. Try and research, try and learn, trying to interact with people in the same field and get to see what do they know. So that when I give you 100,000 shillings and tell you, this is my product that I am selling, how can we market it? And you will tell me, these are the best things that we can do. We can go above the line marketing. We can do, below the line marketing. We can come up with various topics about how we can do it. If you're in finance, will you comment to me how best can we balance, How best can we invest? What areas should we as a company invest in? Those are the things that you need to have. You need to have a curious mindset. So how do you position yourself? Develop additional skills, participate in extracurricular activities. I'll come to that. Linkage between academia and the professional world. This is having a curious mindset. Okay, let me move to another point. How can you network as a student? That's sometimes a difficult question. Many people are introverts, others are extroverts. It could be difficult to network. You don't know how to network. You don't know why you should network. Why is it important anyway that I should network? Well, let me tell you, this is a saying that is common to most people. I don't think, not today, but it's a common phrase that your network is your net worth. The number of people you know, the number of people you know actually count as your net worth. Okay? What do I mean by this? I mean that if you are able to get to know a number of people who are in different fields, you can get to learn a lot. Doors can be opened. And the only way these doors can be opened, the way you can actually learn from these people, from your mentors, is through networking. Okay? Now, as a student or as a young person, one easy way to start how to network, it will be easy. It is to join clubs in the university. Go to your billboard in your university and try and find out what is happening in this university. Other than my classwork, other than what is going on in class today, what else is going on in this university? What clubs are there that I can join? Which organizations are there that I can participate in? And I'm so glad that all of you today are here at Centonomy. This is an exciting thing because you're actually participating in something other than your academia. That is the best way to start networking. Get to know the people around you. Get to know what do they do. Get to participate there. When you network, I will tell you a few values that I think can actually add value to you as you network. And I'll actually share a personal story around that. But first of all, get to know what is happening in university. There's a science club in university. You know, there's a software developers club. You know, people who are interested in app development. Maybe there is a marketers club. You know, there is a languages club. You know, get to participate in these clubs. Join them. Go and see what are they doing. Try and participate there. What is the difference? And why am I saying this? Let's think about our 1,500 students who graduated at the same year together with me. When they all were graduating, in your CV, all of you have the same grades. Can you imagine if you mentioned that also you participated in this organization, this and this and that is what you did. So we participated in, you know, maybe feeding some, you know, unprivileged people. Or, you know, we participated in a cleaning exercise in the environment, or maybe you planted trees and you did this and that. You have added value. You have participated in a way, and that is important. Now, what value does that give you? You're able to network. You're able to meet different people. You're able to interact with people from different cultures. You're able to interact with people from different backgrounds. Yeah, and that is important. Yeah. Attend job fairs, attend other functions that in the university. You should try and know what is happening in university other than when is your next class. I think that's a very important point. Yeah, so if you have questions, if you have pointers that you want to also add, I would be happy. Now, what is the value of networking? Now, personally, I was in Maiyo University. I also was quite an active member of one of the student clubs in Maiyo University. The club is, I think, present in many or most of the universities in Kenya. It's called ISEC. I was a volunteer with ISEC. And we used to try and identify opportunities for young people to go out of the country, to go and volunteer in corporate internships or community internships. We also try to get opportunities for other young people across the world to come to Kenya to participate in community work or in also corporate internships. What did this entail? This entailed us going to some corporates and trying to ask for opportunities for, you know, these young people who could come to Kenya. We had to go to the community and trying to look for opportunities, you know, try and see, okay, in this area, maybe we should plant trees. Maybe we could get a few volunteers to come and help us do that. And with that, the value that I got from this was there was a lot of multicultural engagement. I got to interact with people from all walks of life, all social lives, all different tribes, different nationalities. It really broadened my mindset. You know, some of us actually came from universities where many people had, they come from the same community. But can you imagine if you volunteer in an organization, volunteer in a certain club, you might end up now interacting with people from different walks of life. And this opens up doors, this opens up opportunities. I have friends now across many countries across the world. I can't say that there was anything extraordinary that I did. I just participated in these activities. So one value that I have and that I got from volunteering, from participating in these organizations and clubs was living diversity. I got to interact with a lot of people, and that was a value. That was important because I could have a different mindset. I could have a different worldview, you know, because someone with a different upbringing, you know, and we're discussing about a certain topic, I can hear from you, you have a different point of view and I have a different point of view. It was exciting to have such conversations and I loved it. At the end of the day, in my workplace, I realized we actually interact with people from different walks of life. So it was quite easy to interact. It was quite easy to participate together. And yeah, our teamwork actually worked out very well. First point was living diversity. This is a value of networking, a value of participating activities. Second point is, what is another value that I got from volunteering was activating leadership. Can you imagine we are planning an activity to go and plant trees at a certain area? You have to organize a team together. One person has to take the lead. One person has to plan the logistics. One other person has to do the communication. Other person has to do this and that. You end up actually sharpening your leadership skills. And one thing as an employer, they want to see how good are you in working as a team. So if you have participated in such activities, it's easy for you to actually say how you have participated and how actually you have been a leader. You know, you coordinated a whole team to go and plant trees in Nyandarua. You coordinated a team to go for hiking and this and that. You are actually showing, you know, that you have some leadership skills and you're sharpening them. That is a way in which you're preparing yourself for the workplace. You're preparing yourself to grow in your career and actually to get these opportunities. Because what I'm talking about is how best you can prepare yourself so that when you're positioning yourself for a role, you're positioning yourself for an interview, you're looking for the next step in your career, you're looking for your next step in your life, you have things to talk about, you have a position to stand on, and you can share the things that you have done. And you're distinguishing yourselves from that 1,500 students who graduated at the same time like you. Last point on the values of participating and volunteering is enjoying participation. Let me tell you, there's so much value that you can get when you go out there and you participate in an activity. I was talking about planting trees. You participate in an activity of, you know, serving the underprivileged, you know, maybe serving food, or also, you know, providing clothes for the, you know, people who don't have clothes, or yeah, even providing shelter for the homeless. There is so much value when you feel you have actually you have impacted in the society. You know, you have left the environment, you have left the society better than where you found it. You know, it's called enjoying participation. You just have fun, you know. Life is short, let me just tell you. We have lived in a very turbulent time in the last 2 years where Corona and all this has come up, and it's things that we never anticipated. We have lost many loved ones in the process. Life is too short that we should not have fun. So while you're in your university, in as much as you're studying your actuarial science, you're studying your finance course and whatever, that is very good. But also participate in other things. Get to do other things as well. Life is short, my friends. Life is short. Try and participate, do things. In the process, you get to learn. In the process, you will get to experience different cultures. In the process, you are activating your leadership. In the process, you're preparing yourself for the workplace. That is a good, I think for me, it's a win-win situation, because at the end of the day, you have enjoyed your campus days. I enjoyed mine. I think you can enjoy yours too. One thing that I would tell you that you will lose out on is Netflix. You lose out on the series that you watched because you're out there impacting the society. You're out there having fun. You're out there trying to interact with different communities. You know, you will lose out on watching some of the series, and that's absolutely fine. You have nothing to lose. The series are not going anywhere. Netflix is going to be there when you come back. You will still catch up when you can catch up, but you will have gained a lot in life. Okay? Now, how do you identify these opportunities while you're in university, or while you how do you identify these opportunities in your career? Now, I have 3 points, and then these are the 3 points that I'll wrap up with. Okay. One is you have to identify some interests and pursue these interests. Okay. This is how to sharpen and how to identify these opportunities. Now, let's say, give you an example. You are in marketing, you study marketing, and you have an interest in marketing, okay? You should try and develop those skills. Try and find out which players in these industries or in the market who are doing very well in this field that you're interested in. If you're a software developer, you're very interested in developing softwares, developing apps. Who is the best person who you know is developing apps? Try and follow them. Try to have a conversation with them. Get to know what are they doing. How are they doing it? You know, you could get to learn a lot from them because you have a shared interest between you and that person. Okay, maybe you're interested in finance. Who is the best finance person that you know? Which companies do you know are doing very well that you are actually interested in getting to know about them? If maybe these big 5 auditing companies, you're interested in working with them, get to know what do they do? What are the projects they're working on now? If you're interested in consulting, try and find out, okay, maybe McKinsey or Boston Consulting Group, what are they doing? What are the projects that they're doing at the moment? You know, get involved in those interests that you're interested in and pursue them. Learn about it, Google it, try and follow friends on LinkedIn. Make sure you have a LinkedIn profile. Follow these people who you are interested in, you know, get to know what they do, try and reach out. As we talked about the networking, try and see if, you know, there are opportunities where they are. If they are participating in a talk like this one, try and jump in and try and interact with them, get to know them. This is you getting closer to these opportunities that you're interested in. You have to identify those interests and try and get to them. Second point is capital. We talk about capital in a way, and I think when I just mentioned capital, everyone thinks about financial capital. You need to have financial capital. Yes, that's true. Maybe to build, you know, for an entrepreneurship business that you're trying to do, or you have a certain interest and, you know, maybe you need capital for that. The capital I want to talk about today is called social capital. I hope you're writing this down. Social capital. What is social capital? Social capital is, the best way I think I would put it is, if you want to have a wedding and you're calling a few friends, maybe some of you have been called to a committee to participate in a friend or a cousin or something is having a wedding, and they ask you to contribute some money here and there. Those people who contribute, this is social capital. It's because you guys have a connection together, and they are able to come through for you when the need comes. Yeah, and that's social capital. Let's give you another situation. Maybe you are not feeling well, a loved one is not feeling well, you have to fundraise. Social capital is what will help you to get fundraising, because people will now come to contribute to you. Can you imagine a situation where 5 years down the line, 3 years down the line, you haven't talked to anyone? They send you a text one day, and the text is, hey, I'm looking for a job, could you please help me? That guy maybe will ignore your text, or you would also ignore that person's text because maybe they haven't talked to you in a very long time, but now they're asking for a favor. Social capital is the people who are around you. It's the people. It's not the finances, but it's the people who are around you who can help you to get the resources that you need when you need it. Okay? Now, you need to build social capital. You would find, I would also talk about political capital, you know. Maybe I'll talk about Baba or something. He has a lot of political capital because he has amassed over the years a political power base, you know, that now I can say he has a strong political capital. Now, you need to have a strong social capital. How do you do this? Maintain relationships with your friends. People who are people who you see have value to you. Maintain those relationships. Network quite a lot. And when you network and someone gives you their business card, try and write to them. Or someone gives you their number, try and use it. If you look at through your phone booth, how many people do you not talk to? You're losing out on those opportunities because these are social capitals that are going cold. You need to warm them up. Try and chat up with an old-time friend and say, hey, how are you doing? It's been a long time. This is building social capital. When the need comes, hey, my friend, I see you're working at Coca-Cola. Hey, I saw this job advert here. I was interested in it. Could you maybe give me some tips here and there? But if you're not talking to that guy, you've never talked to him in a very long time, you are not going to get that. There's going to be a barrier. So you have to build up your social capital. Okay, so how to identify opportunities in your career? 1, have interest and pursue them. 2, build your social capital. Social capital is really key. If you have questions on that, maybe I'll be happy to discuss it. Last point is you have to speak about your achievements. This is called bragging rights. You have the bragging rights. In Kenya, many of us are told to be humble. You're told don't talk too much about what you've done. That was, and when you did something outstanding and you're just like, this is what I did. Talk about the things you've done. If you want to grow in your career, you have to speak about what you've done. You have to easily articulate what you have done as your achievement. That's, when we started 20 minutes ago, we talked about, maybe participating in extracurricular activities. We talked about, developing additional skills, talking about this and that. You have done quite a lot. You have participated in, volunteering activities here and there. You need to be able to speak about them in a very articulate way that this is what I have done. I led a team, we went hiking, we did this and that. This is the learnings that we did. These are the challenges we faced, and this is how we mitigated those challenges. You need to speak about your achievements. You need to know how to really do them. I see many people when I ask them, I say, I was a member of a Rotary Club. So you just said you're a member, but you're not able to mention what did you do while you were there? What achievements did you do? What things did you participate in? Sometimes you already have these things with us, but we are not able to articulate them. Sometimes we are not able to bring them out very clearly. And for me, if you are able to articulate very clearly what you have done, you're on the right track. You have a best chance for you to actually grow in your career.